Who doesn't like a good dog story from time to time? Yeah, they just get right out there, don't they? Onto the ice and slip around. Nathan Phillips Square, one of the more picturesque rinks, often crowded, but really pretty in downtown Toronto. If you find yourself in the city of Toronto and you haven't brought skates, you can rent them there as well. Sneak off on the business trip for a couple of hours if you can. Great to see you. Suzanne Leonard and the team. Sustained winds. They are fairly light. They're coming out of the southwest. If you follow the wind arrows here, you'll see the oranges and reds deepening. That's the sign that the winds are picking up behind this cold front out of the west, bringing some squalls on the eastern facing shorelines of Lake Huron and Georgian Bay in particular tomorrow. And by late afternoon, they'll start to switch around to more of a northwest component. And that northerly wind this morning sure had a bite to it in this part of the country. It was a cold start. Tonight, the wind chills will be in the minus teens in northern Ontario. It's been a slightly warmer day in the north, and in the south the afternoon temperatures will get actually a bit above zero. So from 0 and -1, Toronto and London, a warm up. For Ottawa and Montreal, be prepared in the morning hours for some slick road conditions pre-dawn. That could still be a little freezing rain. Southern Ontario, a little freezing drizzle. It's fairly light, but still enough to make roads slippery. We cool off and see a change over to snow. That's in blue. Rain south of the border in particular, but along the 401 in sections, Ottawa, Montreal, again, that mix in the red zone. So there's the snowfall. Parts of northern Ontario, northern Quebec will have some snow squalls. It's a little bit of snow to start things off, and then right over to rain for the Maritimes, followed by Newfoundland. 25 to 40 millimeters of rain in the southwest, and wind warnings on either side of the Cabot Strait. There's the overnight forecast. A few scattered flurries, changing over to some freezing drizzle through the morning. That's a nasty mix, potentially there. Quiet weather across Western Canada. Get ready for some stormy weather for BC by Friday, though. The locals are next. Parts of BC, fairly light, no big storms. So a fairly quiet start to a new month. Not bad. Good news for travelers, of course. Still very cold air across Western Canada. There's high pressure. Typically, that would be sinking air and stable air, so there's not a lot of active weather. California has a big storm system. And Eastern Canada, although this is not especially robust, it's been bringing snow and some freezing drizzle to parts of Ontario, then Quebec, and then the Atlantic provinces Wednesday. But 11 degrees forecast for Halifax. There's the warm-up. Thursday, breezy weather. We'll see a brighter trend for Ontario, some lake effect snow for Thursday, and by Friday, a drenching low moves on to the BC coast. Taking a quick look across the country, there's that warm-up but wet weather for Halifax Wednesday. Cooler, drier going into the weekend. Temperatures really up and down. Same above, below zero trend for Montreal. Some wet snow, possibly some freezing drizzle for your Wednesday morning commute. Ottawa, similar kind of trend. Then the temperatures go down. Toronto, scattered flurries, a warmer trend as we go towards the weekend, staying dry. Winnipeg finally back to more seasonal temperatures towards the end of the week. Coming up, it's good to see you on this Tuesday evening, second day of December. Suzanne Leonard and the team. What a cold start it was. White Rock should be +1. Squamish should be -1. Well below normal temperatures, setting new low temperature records. Yeah, it's a pretty old one for White Rock, too. 54 was the last time, the last benchmark for this date. Looking at the overnight temperatures, there's a wind chill as well. Fort St. John, Fort Nelson, Nelson and Kelowna in the south. You've had plenty of snow lately. It's fairly quiet, active weather-wise, but very chilly. -24 for a wind chill for Calgary. A slight warm-up for tomorrow morning. Not much of a downsloping Chinook or snow eater wind for Lethbridge. In terms of fresh snow, just a weak trough, tiny little bit of lift, bit of low pressure squeaking through the eastern prairies both today and again through Wednesday. So a few centimeters of snow for Prince Albert, for Fort McMurray, and down towards the Paw, the Interlake region, and eventually down towards Winnipeg. And Winnipeg, that was so brutally cold to start the month of December. It was -27 Monday morning. Well, -27 for an air temperature, -16, -26 or 27 for a wind chill. So that, believe it or not, although it's cold and colder than normal, is a substantial improvement. Wednesday morning, yeah, bundle up. You know what to do. Winter in Canada. No travel. Want to show you the snow first of all. 2 to 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, northern Ontario. Notice this goes through Thursday morning. Lake effect snow setting up again. Westerlies Wednesday morning, northwesterlies Wednesday afternoon. And for Atlantic Canada, it is going to be an active day on Wednesday with some freezing rain and then rain during the day and a big warm-up coming. Fighter looks cold. Bit of a windy, windswept weekend, and the temperatures haven't moderated a great deal just yet. -20 overnight tonight. below average, but feeling closer to -30. Now, this is pretty typical. I know you'd like to have, a more gentle winter, if possible. Certainly, it's plenty cold enough for outdoor rinks and to get you in the mood for Christmas shopping and to get you down to the local curling club. So, there's lots of good stuff to be said for the month of December. We have got a Wednesday morning wind chill in the -20s and 30s across the prairies, and we've got a light dusting of snow coming again. But really, the big story for so much of Canada, particularly for the west, is the abundance of cold Arctic air. Anything in blue producing wind chills in the -20 range lately. -14 is the morning low, not factoring in the wind. -3 is the high. Notice it's fairly calm wind-wise, so not a big wind chill here, and a very low probability of any precipitation. There's the overnight temperature, and the wind chills are in blue, and we've got wind chills around the south coast of BC. 0 for Nanaimo, feeling like -4. A cold start for anybody hopping on a ferry over to the mainland. Wednesday, the trend coast to coast. Lake effect snow for Ontario. A bit messy for the Maritimes. Snow, some freezing rain for some in the morning, and then plenty of rain, 25 millimeters. Coming up, we're going to take a look at your local forecast. Well, across the Magdalen Islands. That'll be a neat place to visit in the summertime. It would be a little bleaker, but I'm sure still with its own appeal at this time of year. Hunker down for the winter. More snow coming Wednesday through Thursday morning. The snowfall amounts will be most significant and most dominant in more of the high terrain because we're going to see a fair bit of rain. We've got a smattering of warnings. The most significant one in terms of, I think, impact will be the wind warning either side of the Cabot Strait. And that's for gusts rising to 100 or in the case of the Wreck House region, 140 kilometers an hour. Yes, there is a snowfall warning for parts of the Gaspé. You can see that it's fairly widespread rain, though, and these are the forecast amounts. A good 25 millimeters for many in the Maritimes. Starting off with some snow tonight, freezing drizzle, a burst of that, especially New Brunswick possible, or likely, I should say, through early Wednesday, and then over to rainfall. And look at the temperatures. They start off near 0, and then Halifax bumps up to 11 tomorrow. Cloud tops, mild. Cloud tops across the continent. Worst weather in the country, really, this large low for California. Tropical moisture, good for the drought, but raises the risk of mudslides and flash flooding. Biting start to the day. Then fairly quiet, still a bit of a wind, and the wind is going to change directions, bring some lake effect snow tomorrow. This is a snapshot of what you can expect overnight through pre-dawn. Snow in blue, rain in green, a mix in between, some freezing drizzle, wet snow. That could continue through the morning drive for Ottawa and Montreal. There's your Wednesday morning. There are the snow squall forecast amounts. Coming up, a more in-depth look at your local numbers.
Experience the warmth. It's closer than you think.
How would you feel if we put a 7 or a 9 after this 2 or this 2? I'll show you warm temperatures near 30 degrees in just a second. A snapshot of Canada's weather for Wednesday. It's snow changing to rain in the Maritimes. Halifax a balmy 11. Cooling off, some wet snow. Montreal and Ottawa could be a slippery commute Wednesday morning. Cool but calm and quiet across Western Canada. And there are those 29s, even a 30 for Nassau. Safe travels if you're headed to the Bahamas.